Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another Kanji's Plays video. In today's video, we're going to go over the basics on spiking and setting. And then in a future video, we're going to be doing an advanced tutorial to show you how exactly to hit certain shots on the spikes and also how to do specific sets. So make sure to stay tuned for that. So if you guys get confused and don't understand how I'm hitting certain shots, just know I will be putting another video out that'll tell you specifically how to hit certain shots that you might not be able to hit right now. But this is also incredibly important video because if you don't know these basics, you're not going to be able to do anything later on. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is honestly the camera because some people might be playing zoomed out because it makes it easier to see the ball. But I will not let you know that the farther you're zoomed out, it'll be a lot harder to see where exactly you are under the ball, so it's going to make it really easy to miss. So I'd say try and find a nice medium between zooming out and zooming in because you do need to be able to see the ball, but you also need to know where exactly you are on the court. And so right now, if you see my settings, I'm like kind of out, but not that far out. That way I know exactly where the ball is. And it's just really easy to hit some crazy spikes with it. If you just mess around with your settings, make sure you get it feeling right, and then once it feels fluid, you should be set from there. Now, as far as your sets go, I'll show you once I get the ball back here. Really, you don't really want to be moving too much, because if you're moving, it's going to go forward a bit, and you really don't want that. You want it to just kind of go straight, and it'll go a little forward no matter what, but a little bit is way better than what it would be like if you just fully send it, and I'll show you what that looks like. And make sure you're not hitting any other key too, because any other key will also send it in a direction. But yeah, see how it's going way forward? And that's still if you got a teammate that's ready for it, but you gotta make sure that your teammate knows what you're doing, or else you can really throw them off. Now, for spikes, spikes are kind of simple, but kind of hard. You'll see that sometimes it'll say too low, like that, exactly. It'll say too low. And what that means is you're hitting the angle on the ball way too low. Either the ball's too high, or it's too far below you, or you're just not in the right position to hit it. It's going to say it's too low. And the way that you can really help with that, first of all, is by not holding W key. A lot of people be holding W key, and you don't really want to do that at first. You really want to just like don't touch anything at all. You'll have to angle yourself because a big thing in this game is the angle that you're putting your position in because depending on where you're looking, it's where the ball is going to be going. And you don't really have to be like in the air looking in a direction because like if you're like this and you're angling down, that's not going to do anything for you at all. It's not going to change anything. It's just where your positioning is when up before you start the jump. You got to make sure you know where the ball's going, and once you understand where the ball is going, you can angle yourself in a position that is advantageous to actually be able to hit the ball. So like you can hit the ball up, you can go to the side, and then you can slam it down.
A little bit to add on to what you're saying. For the people that are a little confused, what he means by is the rotation of your character instead of the direction of where your mouse is aiming.
Yeah, exactly. If your mouse has nothing to do with it, it's just where your character is rotated. And it makes it pretty simple. And like the also for like if you're doing serves and stuff, you don't really want to be moving the ball forward because you can make the ball go forward and do jump serves. And I don't really want to get into that right now, but I can at least show you guys how to do a regular jump serve because it's not that hard. And so we'll do that now. It's pretty much the same as spiking, except I don't think it has it too low. At least I haven't done it yet. Oh, I forgot I got a score. Oh, you did that bounce. Nice. So really, you're gonna want to throw the ball up, and you want to try and get it in purple, because the further it gets down this bar, the more power your shot's gonna have. And once you get it up, you jump up, and you slam it right as it hits the peak, and you'll see the ball will like kind of stop in the air, and when your body stops in the air too, that is the pinnacle of where the ball and your body is going to be, and it'll get that perfect shot every time. And like I said, you can rotate your character to get it to different directions on the field. Now, for the stats, if you have really high spiking, we're going to spiking, it'll pretty much just change the spike power that you have on your shots. And so it's going to make the ball go faster, and that could also make you do a lot sharper angles on your spikes. Depending on how high that power is, it'll make it a lot easier to hit the angles that you wouldn't normally be able to hit, and it'll also make it easier on the far shots. Because if you're doing spiking and you don't have any spike at all, and you're doing spikes from back here, it's going to be really difficult to do. And you can see that I have Yabu right now, and I'll make an advanced tutorial on it later on how to hit far shots no matter what your spikes are. But just keep in mind, even if you can hit those far shots, the spikes are still going to be really slow. So it's going to be really easy for the team to react to where your ball's going. And then you can also keep in mind to know like where the positioning of your ball is just by looking at the center of the circle on the ground. And so you can easily see where the ball is going to be from there. And so just make sure you're up close and try not to hold W key because like I said, W key is going to make it to where you get that low angle. And if you're up close, it can be chill if you're like right up on the net. But otherwise, I just wouldn't really mess with it. It's just way easier to just like hit the ball instead of holding W key. It'll get a little bit of a sharper downward spike, but other than that, it's just going to be much easier to just hit the ball regularly. It'll also make it go further, and it makes it easier to get past defenders, in my opinion. But I think that'll be pretty much it for today's video. I think that's pretty much everything I need to cover on the basic tutorial. I'll go over the advanced tutorial and what all the stats do. I guess setting also makes it to where the ball goes up higher, just so you know that that's what the setting does, which is good for allowing your people to actually read and know where the ball is. It gives them time, but it also gives your defenders time to also react to the ball, so keep that in mind. But other than that, I'll get into the rest of the stats and a deeper understanding of all the stats later on. And I'll also be doing an advanced tutorial on how to hit a bunch of shots that you probably don't know how to hit right now. But you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.